Now, I am not normally a fan of Westerns, but it's Tom Hanks, so you have to. Welcome to my movie review of News of the World. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel at least twice a week, and then movie reviews or book to movie content here at the weekend. In the description box you will find all of my social links so you can keep up with my reading and watching in between times. I will also leave a playlist of my movie reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something to watch this weekend. Yes, News of the World is one of those movies that I watched at home rather than watching on the big screen. If you are outside of the US, Netflix has bought the rights to this movie, so you can watch this on Netflix in the comfort of your own home. Whereas here in the US, it has been playing in theatres. It opened in theatres on the 25th of December because some of those theatres are open. My local movie theatre is open, the one that I used to go to, but I am not currently choosing to go there right now. So you can pay to stream this at home. And yeah, so my it's so hard because I was watching the film and I could see that so many of the things would have worked so well on the big screen. As I said at the beginning, I'm not a massive fan of Westerns, but I am a big fan of Tom Hanks. But the thing that stuck out most to me in this film was the cinematography. It's shot in New Mexico around Santa Fe. That part of the world is absolutely stunning. I've got some pictures on my Instagram. I don't think I've got any vlogs from down there, but you know, I've been down to New Mexico a few times and the scenery just changes and just looks like how you imagine a sort of classic Western film to look, or Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, etc. A lot of those are filmed around the New Mexico-Arizona border as well. And so, yeah, the way this film is shot, so many times I was like, oh, I bet this would look amazing on the big screen. Oh, that would sound and look so good if you were seeing it on the big screen. So I think this is one of those films where, yes, it's going to be a good movie to watch because it's a big budget production. It's a kind of classic Western type of story. It's got Tom Hanks attached to it. And so it's always going to be, you know, a decent watch. They've invested money to make sure that you are entertained. It's an enjoyable watch, but it is a beautiful film and it is one of those where it would have been so good to see it on the big screen. So I'm hoping that maybe it'll be one of those that when cinemas are open in general and cinemas around the world are open, that they might, you know, re-release, do sort of special releases. I could see this working so well on that big Dolby screen with the Dolby sound. In terms of it being a Western, Tom Hanks plays a character who is a Civil War veteran, and he goes from town to town reading the news of the world because obviously not everyone had access to newspapers, not everyone was able to read, and so people would pay a dime and listen to him read the news, and he would kind of pick out ahead of time what news he wanted to share. Obviously he would share some relevant sort of, you know, news as it was, but then he would find some, you know, nice pieces of news to share with them to kind of leave people on a positive note, because obviously during the Civil War and during this time of kind of lawlessness, not all the news was good news. And so I love the idea of this. I had no idea that this was a thing that people did. And I think that Tom Hanks is really believable as a character that would do that. But on his travels, his very dangerous roads travelled, he finds a girl who there's an overturned car and a dead person, and then there's this girl, and he needs to basically return her to her aunt and uncle, and the two sort of develop this beautiful bond along the way. She doesn't speak English, she speaks partly German and partly Kiowa. He finds a couple of people that speak those languages along the way, and so begins to learn some things, but yeah, I really like the fact that the main focus of the film is the relationship of these two characters, and the fact that these two characters have all this adversity thrown at them. They don't speak the same language, they're not the same age, they're not from the same place, the roads are really dangerous, they're trying to, you know, visit all these communities and find places to stay along the way. And I like the general storyline. It's a very slow paced film. It's not overly long, it's just shy of 2 hours, which is just about my limit when it comes to a slow paced film. But yeah, it's a slow paced film. It's relatively quiet, and so that is why the cinematography stands out so much. It was the sort of beautiful scenery, and even the way when, you know, they're having a conversation, the two of them, the way that is shot and the kind of angles that the director decided to use and the shots that he decided to keep in when the film was being edited, I do think even just watching it here on my small screen, aka, you know, a fairly large TV, decent TV, it's in, you know, 4K and what have you, but even just watching it here, you could really appreciate those beautiful shots. And then the more sort of like dramatic, intense scenes definitely have like a darker tone to them, and I just really enjoyed that. Tom Hanks, of course, is wonderful in this film. He's got this like real calm demeanor that he brings to the character, but you know, we kind of know he's got that calm demeanor in real life. But if you sort of told someone, oh yeah, that's Woody from Toy Story and that's that person on the screen there, you'd be like, no, completely different people. So he did bring something to the character, but he's just the sort of ideal person to be taking this girl on this journey and making sure that she gets back to where she comes from. So in a way, I would say that even if you're not a fan of Westerns, there's not a lot of like big shootouts and like galloping horse chases in this film. It's quite slow, it's quite quiet, and you've got this added thing of him not being a cowboy going to read the news to these towns, and he arrives in the city of Dallas and you're like, wow, I can't believe that's what Dallas started from. And so yeah, I really don't think that you have to be a fan of Westerns to enjoy this film. I think even if, like me, you're not a fan of Westerns, then you will enjoy this film. If you're not such a fan of this kind of slow-paced, quiet type of movie, if you are more, you know, superhero action films, you might not like this film. Should you pay money to rent this film in your home? I'm not sure. If you have access to the film on Netflix, if you are outside of the US or can somehow get access to it on Netflix, then yes, by all means, stream this film. Should you pay $19.99 to rent this film? I don't know. I think that it would be worth waiting until it's streaming somewhere, just because you will sit there like me and go, I could see how this would work on the big screen. This would be so much better on the big screen. I did really enjoy the film, and I do recommend watching it. Whether you should pay $19.99 to rent it, I'm not sure. But that's just my opinion. And yes, so as always, if there are movies you would like me to watch and review here with you next week, the week after, etc., let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have seen this movie, let me know in the comments your thoughts. Spoiler free, of course, just like this video. I will be back with more bookish content for you in the week, including some book versus movie bonus material and more movie stuff for you at the weekend. So make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss out on that. Hit that notification bell and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.